Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. Welcome to this week's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I missed last week. Last Saturday was kind of like a chopped up, really busy day. First of all, we met Father Roy, our priest for our church. We met him at this granite place and we picked out granite for the baptismal font. So this has been an ongoing thing, trying to get this font done. The current font we had, it leaked. It had like a waterfall feature on it. You could dunk babies in it, or you could have like when adults were baptized, they could walk into this, the waterfall kind of came down and you could walk into this shallow pool and, you know, water would be poured over your head. Anyways, it was kind of hazardous because you could walk right into it. So they would have to put like plants around it a lot of times because people would be talking and walking and not looking to fall into it. Little kids would jump in it, you know, it was just a problem. And then it started leaking. And so they asked me, they like put this team of people together. There was a team of 4 of us plus Father. So the 5 of us, you know, designed this new font. Actually, I designed it. So that kind of freaked me out. They wanted my artistic eye. But I mean, I have a good eye for design and things, but I'm not an architect. Like, I'm not good at measuring. Anyways, I had to draw the design. I drew a couple of different things. And, you know, we're having meetings like maybe every few weeks or once a month to go over things and, you know, picking out what it would be made out of and the size of it, and it's going to be much smaller now. Anyways, it's gonna, we waited the longest part. The thing that took the longest was we had, I should say, it's already made, we had a copper basin hand built for the font where the babies are going to be dunked in, and then for adults you just put your head over it and he'll pour water over your head. We're not having a walk-in thing anymore. And the cabinet's been built for quite a while now. And anyways, those 2 pieces got completed and were delivered. So then it was time to pick out the granite. We were gonna do tile all the way around it, and you know, we decided not to do that. So anyway, they're gonna have all new carpet and this new font. I can't wait to see it all done. The granite that we really wanted was already sold, and they hadn't even started working on the project that granite was for in order to know if there'd be any leftover pieces big enough for us. And we don't have time to wait. We really would like to get this done. So we picked the second best. It's beautiful, but the first one was dynamite. But you can't always get what you want, right? So that felt really good to have that done. So we got that done, and then I came home and I forget what I had to get done that day for work. So I was working on that, and then oh, well, we had to go to 6 o'clock mass. So we went to confession, then we went and did this thing with Father, and this was like at 10:30 in the morning. No, it was more like 10. We went to confession at 10, and then our appointment was at 11. We didn't leave there till probably 12 or 12:30. We got home. I did some work. We went to mass at 6 because I was leaving the next morning, so we couldn't go to mass on Sunday, so we went to mass at 6. So it was just like a very choppy day. I'm like, there's no way I can fit a floss tube in this day. The reason we couldn't go to mass on Sunday is because last Sunday I went on a girls' trip. Yes, one of my very best friends, the one that I talked about in my last video that worked with us when we had primitive folk and she would put the glue on those notepads, that friend, she's a keeper. She's amazing. We've been friends for a very, very long time. And her daughter, and then a mutual friend of ours, went up to Traverse City and we did a wine tour, and we left Sunday morning at 9:30 and we got home Tuesday at like 2:30 in the afternoon. So it was a quick trip, but it was just right, you know what I mean? And we did shopping, and then Monday we did a wine tasting tour, and we had so much fun. So it's the off season. I mean, the day before we went, last Saturday, they got like 8 inches of snow up there. It was crazy. But by the time we got up there Sunday around noonish, 1 o'clock, the snow, you know, was all plowed and the roads were dry and everything was great. But it's the off season for wine tours. Not to mention it was on a Monday. Most of the wine tours take place on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So we were very limited as to who we could have do the wine tour. We were thinking we were going to be in like a van of some sort, like a shuttle bus type thing. Well, my friend's daughter made all the arrangements and everything. It was from 3:30 to 8:30 on Monday. And I was thinking, 5 hours? Like, we're going to be drunk as skunks. I was kind of like, whoa, that's a long time. But it really wasn't that long. It went really fast. But we're in the hotel and we're waiting. Like she's in communication with him. He's like, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. Go ahead and head to the lobby. And so this like thing pulls up and we're like, no, it had the hotel name on it. And like, no, that's a shuttle bus. And I'm like, that's not it. And then this vehicle comes pulling in, and it's like an SUV, but like a smaller one. I don't know. I'm not good at looking at a car and saying, oh, that's a blah, blah, blah. I just don't know. But it was a smaller SUV. It was pretty cramped in there. And the vehicle was covered in stickers. And the gentleman gets out and he's got long hair. It's in a ponytail. He's got on a Disney hoodie. And we're all kind of looking like at each other, and we're thinking, what the heck? So anyways, we come out of the hotel and she asked him, is this for the wine tasting? And he's like, yes. And then he said her name. He knew her name, so we knew it was all good. So we all pile in this vehicle. Now, earlier that day, we had been shopping, and I don't want to give names, so I'm like, it's kind of my friend's daughter. My friend's daughter bought this karaoke device that plugs into your phone so that when you sing, it comes out of the speaker of your phone, because she wanted to do karaoke. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I am the worst singer ever, and I am terrible at the names or the words of songs. Like, if I'm in the car and I'm by myself and a jam comes on that I really love, I can sing along with it fine. But if I'm like on the spot, the words escape me. So I've never done karaoke. Like, never would I do it at a bar or something like that in public. There's just no way. So she was really having a hard time getting this thing to work. Well, anyway, we get into this vehicle and we're driving. He's telling us, asking us which wineries we wanted to go to. Were there any one that we didn't want to go to? Was there ones that we definitely wanted to go to? Or, anyways. So we got that all worked out. And then he said, hey, maybe after this first stop, we can break out the karaoke machine. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I have a karaoke machine in my vehicle, and he has 2 drop down screens where like the words play. He had 3 microphones. I'm like, are you kidding me? We were just dying. So we went to the first, I think we might have went to 2 wineries. They were like 5 minutes apart. And after the second one, we're like, okay, let's karaoke. And we sang and we had so much fun. It was the most fun I've ever had on a wine tour. And we still had like an hour left with him, but we're really hungry. It's like 7:30 and we hadn't ate since like lunch. And so we're like, is it okay if we go somewhere other than a winery? So we had him take us to Chick-fil-A. Anyways, such a total blast. Also, my friend's daughter is a cosmetologist, and so she gave us facials. We had like foot cream and, shaved our faces. I mean, it was just everything you could dream of as far as, the hotel we stayed at was really nice, and it was just all good. Tons of fun. So we decided we're making this an annual trip because it was that much fun. Oh God, what else? I mean, I don't know, just other than having the kids over every Thursday. And I'm telling you, the kids, I don't know if it's because they're just growing up, which I'm sure that's what it is, but they have gotten along so great the last few times they have been over. Not fighting with one another, listening to us, not being rebellious. They've been little angels. So let's keep that going. What else? Oh, and then, you know, continuing to go to my mom's on Sunday and playing cards. And I obviously was out of town, so Kyle hosted it at his house, and he has a pool table, so everyone went over there and played pool and all that, so it's fun. Of course, nobody cooked because I do all the cooking for it, because Kevin's like, well, I'm not cooking. Okay, that's fine. Just make sure you tell everybody to eat first, because I don't want them to expect, you know, dinner or something. And anyways, so that is what's been going on in my life, other than, you know, that's personal wise. Work wise, it's been like always, you know, it's just, there's never a time of rest in my work anymore. There used to be times like that, but when I started Patreon and I started doing retreats and then I started designing fabric, adding those 3 things into my regular design business has just made it insane. So I can tell you that just today is April 1st. So yeah, I gotta think of an April Fool's thing to do with Kevin. I didn't even think about that. I don't do that every year. I did one many, many years ago. We had just had Kyle, like, I think he might have been a year old. I mean, because he's born on the 30th. Matter of fact, this past Thursday was Kyle's 30th birthday. 3/30/93, and he's 30. That's pretty cool. Anyways, he was like a year old, and I had my, this is kind of gross that I saved this actually, it was in a plastic bag, but my pregnancy test, I still had it. And when when Kevin got home from work, I brought it out and I'm like, honey, guess what? And I handed it to him and he just went, like, oh my gosh, another one like this soon? Like, not that we wouldn't be happy about it, but it was just like, oh my gosh, that's like a year apart. Anyways, that was my April Fool's joke. Yeah, he was like, he still remembers it, and he still says, I still can't believe you did that to me. Anyways, so happy April, happy spring. Oh my gosh, it's a typical Michigan spring here today. Rainy, in the 40s, gloomy. Yeah, not windy though, so I'll take it. We had a really huge thunderstorm last night, which was kind of cool. I like a thunderstorm long as it's not like tornado and windy, but it really filled our pond up. Our pond is looking great for being this early in the spring, and we're expecting some rain this coming week too, so that's good. I noticed when I edit my videos, I'm not always looking at the camera, and I apologize. Where I'm faces the pond, and I have all windows. It's all windows in front of me and on the sides of me. So I'm always looking out there because that's when you see deer. There's been geese hanging out here. So, and I just saw a blue heron fly by today too. So I'm always looking out there. So I apologize that I'm not always looking in the camera. I'll try to be better about that. What was I talking about? I don't know. Happy spring. Happy spring. Yeah. I guess that's it. Oh yes, so today, that's right, April 1st, so today was my Patreon release. I'm just going to show you real quick what I designed for my Patreon this month. I'm really excited about this grouping because it has to me kind of an antique vibe to it with some really pretty soft spring colors. So for tier 2, 3, and 4, we have Life is the Flower. It's a Victor Hugo quote, and that date there's no significance to it other than that was a great year for beautiful antique samplers. And then tier 3 and 4, we have Cottage Bouquet. This one, I just love this. And you know, I'm not a blue person. I don't decorate with blue in my house unless it's red, white, and blue, like Americana theme. I have a spare bedroom in my house that's red, white, and blue. But I love blue pink and yellow and green together. It's just so pretty. So anyway, I would love to have that bouquet in my house. I think it's really pretty. So that's tier 2, 3, and 4. Oh no, that's tier 3 and 4. Then at tier 4, if you're in tier 4, you get all those other 2 plus this one. Cottage garden. I love that willow tree. And the bluebirds. I love bluebirds. We don't have a lot of bluebirds around us. If we had some bluebird houses, that would help. But I'll see them once in a while, and they are just vibrant. I mean, they almost glow when the sun hits them. They're so beautiful, and I need to get some bluebird houses. Also, every month in Patreon, I design an ornament that they can purchase for $5 in the secret shop. So I love this. I want to stitch this myself and make it into, like, put it on one of those tart pans and make a pin cushion out of it. It just has that antique vibe to it. I love it. So those are the April, whoa. Those are the April things so I worked really hard yesterday. You know, the designing part for me, you know, it's time consuming, but it's not as time consuming as making these doggone PDFs, because I have to design the cover. I also make them in color, and I also make them in black and white. And then I also have like a 1-pager for people that like pattern keep it or something like that. They just want the whole design on 1 page. But when I make the PDF, and it's not just for Patreon, I sell PDF charts too on my Etsy shop, and I have to do the same for those. Those aren't all in color though, which from here on out, as I add new the newer designs, I can do color. But some of these designs that I'm making into PDF charts for Etsy, they're older, and I don't even have the file, the chart file, in order to make it into color anymore. So anyways, it's just a big process because they come in as huge files. Like 1 page, when I bring that page into Photoshop, it's like 46 megabytes. That's huge. And so I have to make them smaller, and then I have to, you know, put at the bottom, I'll show you. At the bottom, I always put, you know, page 1. If you can see down here, you know, it says page 1, life is the flower, and then I put, you know, the copyright on it. So I have to do that on every page. And then there's the overlay that I do, and for whatever reason, my program doesn't distinguish that enough. So I have to go in on each overlay and highlight it or darken it so that you can tell, because you can't tell otherwise. Anyways, it's just a lot of fiddly work that takes me forever. So I did that. Pretty much it took me almost all day yesterday just to make those PDFs. Okay, what else? Oh my gosh, my Bright Stars fabric is shipping. And the reason I know that is because Instagram. The first thing I saw was Annabella's. She had her shipment come in and she announced it. And then I got an email from Teresa Vonna. Her Bright Stars has shipped. So she's doing something real cool on her website. So I don't know if it's there yet, but stay tuned. I'm sure she'll send out an email newsletter letting you know, so make sure you subscribe to her newsletter. And then today, Denise from Goose Designs, she contacted me and she's like, oh my gosh, I could not wait to get this fabric. And she ordered it through Primitive Gatherings, which she lives close to, and so she went and picked it up yesterday, and she had bags made already this morning. Like, I don't know if she even went to bed last night. So I'm stoked. I'm so excited. So far to date, that is my absolute favorite fabric line that I have designed, because I love Americana, red, white, and blue. Oh my goodness, I just absolutely love it. And oh, and my shipment came in, was it yesterday or Thursday? I think my shipment came in on Thursday. So I have the whole line here myself. I just don't have time to sew anything, but I'm gonna keep it because I am gonna sew someday. Don't know when, but I think that's it. Oh, I just wanted to mention too that I will be having a May release. People have been asking about what I designed for Farm Girl Gatherings last May, the heart and hand. I don't have, the one is on display up at my house. I have it on my wall because I love it so much. And then I've got one here, and then I've got the needle book over here, down here at the studio. Those 3 designs, I still haven't made up my mind. I think I'm gonna put them in a book. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put them in a book. I think it would be better just to have them all together and then do some, you know, I've got some heart and hand artwork I can put in there, and I can just do some fun things. I like making the books, I really do. So look for that to come. And then I have several other things going on that will be coming out in May. So watch for that. It'll probably be later in May because April is bonkers for me. So I don't think, like, I'm gonna get the book designed this coming week, but the rest of the things, I have also 3 exclusives for people that I have to get done and get the patterns all ready for and ship. And then I've got a retreat. Annabella's retreat is the last weekend of April, so I've got that. Yeah, busy month this month, so exciting though. All right, I had some questions. Have you charted anything from the miniatures? Let me show you real quick. So if you watched my video last week, I showed the little miniatures that we did when we had Primitive Folk back, when was this, 1999 or something like that. And it's just this page of miniatures, and I have not charted these, but I thought it would be kind of cute to, like, they're kind of in sets. So there's these flower ones, and then this one is like bee scap, friends, baskets, and a little white bunny. And then this row is all flower ones. This one is all like Christmas and snowmen. And then these are just like everyday little folk art ones. So I thought about putting them all into like one pattern because they're just little teeny tinies. Either putting them all in one pattern or making them what I call teenies, which I actually could probably put these on a card and do them individual. I might just go ahead and do that because you might just want one of the designs instead of all of them. So that was asked several times in the comments. So if you didn't get a good look at those this time, just go back to my last video and you can kind of scan through there where I'm showing that and take a gander at that. But there's a lot of designs in there that I think would be really cute as cross-stitch patterns. So all in good time. I mean, little by little, I'll be peppering those in, you know, to my new releases. Have you ever sold your art at the Ann Arbor Art Fair? No, I haven't. There was a time that I really wanted to get in that show. That was way back when I first started, you know, painting for a living. I wanted to get in that show, but there was a wait list, and then later, even later in my art career, I thought, I kind of revisited that whole thought. But you know, I never did well at art fairs. I think that's the hardest way to make money as an artist, because especially at that art fair, there's a ton of people, but there's a ton of people that go just to browse. It's like a day out, you know. I admit, I love going to art fairs, but I rarely buy anything. I just get inspired, and I love seeing art, any kind of art, you know, pottery, jewelry, all that kind of stuff. And I rarely buy anything. Also, that fair is so big. It's like streets and streets, and I think there's actually 3 fairs that go on at the same time, and it's just massive. And I'm not big into crowds anymore. I don't think I really ever was, but even as I get older, I just don't want to be around that many people. Like, it's huge, and it's always blistering hot. It's in July, and it's always hot, and then you got to deal with the weather, and if it rained, your whole show down the toilet. So I give a lot of credit to artists that make a living doing art fairs. That's just not for me. How do you sign up for the Bag of the Month Club? So that is Karen, So Much to Love, her Bag of the Month Club. The only way I know is to go to her Etsy shop, and and just inquire, send her a message and ask her if she has any room in her Bag of the Month club. I will show you her logo, and then I will also have her linked below so that you can just click on the link and go check her out. So when you go to her Etsy shop, it says contact seller, and you click on that and you can send her a message and ask her if she has any room in her Bag of the Month club. So while I am talking about Karen, so last week when I showed you my new bag that I got from my Bag of the Month club, that she had a snag nabbit in there, and I read the back of it because I'm like, I'm not sure what you do with this. And she messaged me, she's like, I watched your video. She goes, she's like, I explained in my letter that came, you know, she sends a letter with each one. I was in such a hurry to do my floss tube last time that I didn't bother reading the letter. So that is my bad. I'm going to read to you what she says about this so that you have a clear understanding on what it is. She said, we have also included a snag nabbit. I first found out about this little gem on a Flosstube video by Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching. Steph explained how to use this tool. I have to admit I never stitch without it now. I have included these in our Bag of the Month before, but since we have so many new members, I felt it was time to include them again. If you already have one, you can definitely use more than one to keep one in each project bag. What does this little thing do, you might ask? Well, say you have a stitch that isn't laying down right. You just plunge the snag nabbit down into the fabric next to the offending stitch and pull through to the back, and voila, the stitch is right and tight like magic. Or say you have the tail end of a thread poking out. Poking its head up on the good side of your stitching. Just plunge the snag nabbit down through the fabric next to that little thread, and it will pull that tail end back where it belongs. I seriously love this thing. You will find some DMC for your stash, some yummy chocolate mints, and of course stash tea. So thank you, Karen. I love this. So now I have a little thing next to me when I stitch. I'm putting that in there because there's definitely times I could have used this. So thank you for that. And from now on, I will read my letter before I show my bag. I've had a few people message me and even in the comments here, Instagram, you know, messages through Facebook, whatever. I've had a lot of people ask me to do a tour of my studio. I would love to. But I cannot do that right now. It is such a mess. But my goal, probably, I don't know, probably August, because I have retreats in April, May, June. It looks like we're gonna go to Missouri for a week. And then July, I have a retreat. And then I have one in the fall. So I'm thinking August might be a good time because it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna need to take off at least 1 week. If I hit it really hot and heavy and hard with very long days, I might be able to get it done in a week, but I might have to take, you know, 10 to 14 days to organize the studio. Last week when I showed all of my primitive folk, you know, stuff and kind of was reminiscing about that, I still have file cabinets full of things from that era. Well, maybe not primitive folk, but from licensing. Yeah, that's not true because we were done with primitive folk when we moved into this house. But like licensing from, you know, 15 years ago. We've been in this house for what, 20 years? Yeah, we moved in 2001. 22 years we've been here. This June it will be 22 years. So there's 22 years of paperwork in here that I need to purge and then organize the things. So yeah, I will do one someday. And so that is my goal. Let's make that my 2023 goal, is to clean and organize the studio and then do a studio tour. I'd love to do it. Will In His Image always be a shop exclusive? So I'm going to insert a picture here of In His Image. This is something that I designed exclusively for Craft Gallery. I've never designed an exclusive for a shop before, so I don't know how that works. I since have learned, I think people mostly give the shop a year and then they release it to, you know, the masses. It's been over a year, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be at least another year. I don't know. I need to talk with them. I'm doing a retreat with Paula and Carlton in Findlay, Ohio, the last weekend of May. So I will talk to them then and just see what they say about that. I mean, I have no problem them keeping it. It was something I wanted to do for them. And if you want it, call them. I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? I don't see why it has to be released to the public right away or anything, because it's available to everybody. You just have to go through them, and they'll mail it to you. So anyways, that's a question mark. Like, I don't know. I don't know when. Probably more than likely I will, but I just don't know when. All right, are the Primitive Folk watercolors available in cross-stitch patterns? Well, we just kind of talked about that a little bit. No, they're not right now, but there was an overwhelming response to those that I showed last week, so I will be peppering them in a little bit here and there. What punch needle would be a good one for a beginner? Well, I have a lot of punch needle, so I will have a link below where you can go and look at all of my punch needle, or I'll actually probably just send you to the Etsy shop and you can type in the search punch needle. No, not even that. I think it's in a category at the side. On the left-hand side, you can click on a punch needle and it will just show you all that I have available for punch needle. To start out, you want a smaller design. Don't pick anything that's like an 8x10 or 7x7 or even a 5x5 is kind of large. I would go with like a 3x5, somewhere around there. Go with something that has larger blocks of color, like not a ton of detail, not a ton of color changes, and then get something that does not have writing or numbers, because that is a little bit advanced for somebody that's just starting out, because it can get frustrating. But the more you work with it and the better you get, you're like, oh, I can do that. So that is my advice. I can't right off the top of my head think of something, because more than likely I'll say something that we have already retired, so I don't want to do that. But just look for blocks of color, not a ton of color changes, something small, something without letters and numbers, and you'll be all good to go. Are you ever going to chart your angels with the seashells? If I can get those pictures, I'll insert them here so you can see what she's talking about. But I did these huge paintings years ago for a client, and it was a commission deal, and they were huge, the biggest paintings I've ever painted, and they turned out so pretty, and I really loved them. But I've had more than one person ask me to chart those. Now here's the deal: when I chart my angels, or Mother Mary and Jesus and all that, those are very time consuming to chart. It's insane, because I actually take the painting and bring it into the cross stitch program, and it's all pixelated and it looks like a hot mess. And so it's kind of a jumping off point though for me. It takes forever to do that. It takes forever to pull all the floss and make sure the colors are going to work together. And then when I send it out, they're very intense patterns to stitch. And so my stitcher usually takes, and I only have one person doing those kind of cross stitch models for me, because there's a lot of confetti stitching and they're mostly full coverage. So I don't have a lot of people that can stitch those models for me. So it takes a good year, by the time I send something to someone, a year to a year and a half before I get it back. So it's a very slow going process. So I already have one that I need to send out that is so close to being done. I'm almost done charting it. Then I have to pull the floss. But so hopefully in 2024 I will have something, but it won't be those. So that's why I'm saying that, is just to let you know that even if I started charting those today, it would be at least 2025 before I ever could release the patterns. So I'll work that will be my next one. After this one I'm working on now, I'll make at least one of those angels. I don't know that I will do both of them. If I can get more model stitchers that are good at doing full coverage and a little bit of confetti stitching, if I had more model stitchers, that would speed that up. So if you're watching this and you like full coverage and in some confetti stitching, then let me know and we'll talk. All right, let's get into whips. I don't have a ton to show because I've been designing my crazy head off lately. But I worked on the mystery sale that I'm doing for Tier 4 in my Patreon group. This is a fun stitch. Can I just tell you? When I start on it, I don't want to put it down, but I have to because I have things I need to get done. Oh, I love it. So let me show you if I can. I'll probably insert a picture showing you where I left off last time. But here is part 1. There's going to be 6 parts to this, so we should finish this up in August. So I'm working on, wait, I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm working on the 4th little star here. I've got 2.5 more to do. I've got the trees done here. I have 1 more bee skep, and then I've got this bird, and then that bottom little row of things. That's all I have to do. And I will be caught up. So April 15th is when the next part will drop. Part 2 will drop. So I thought about changing my white and the flesh tone because I didn't think they were showing up enough. But you know, in person, I don't know if it's showing up good here, but in person it looks fine. It's showing up. I don't mind a little bit of ghosty threads. But I mean, looking at it right now, I can see that white. So this is being stitched on 40 count overcast by Cedar River Linens. Thank you so much, Jody. A lot of people are stitching on this because it's really working perfectly with these colors. I love these soft colors. So that's all the cross stitching I did, which is not much, but I was on a girls trip. so there you go. I did some work. Oh, and that is in my beautiful bag by Tara at the 805 Stitcher, and this is my friend, her fabric line. It's just so cool. And I saw today that she has a calendar. I don't even know if you can find it now this late in the game, but I would really like her calendar. I love these sewing girls. Gosh, she's so talented. And then I worked on my punch needle. It is so close to being done. There's some things on it I have to change though. So when I show you a close-up, in the center here, there's some leaves that you cannot see. They blend into the background color too much. So before I go to the house today, I'm going to pick out a different green. I think that's about all I wanted to say about that. So yeah, so basically I just have to change that color out. And then I got just a little bit of fill in right here. And then it's going to be done. And I think it's super, super cute. I love the colors. I love those rabbitses. They're so cute. So yeah, that is part of my May release. Rabbitses. That's all for my whips. I don't have any finishes, but I do have some finishes that was... Hold on, that was sent in by someone else. Okay, here we go. My friend Jan Holder, she stitched Let Love Rain. She stitched it on 28 count needle and flax Thornfield linen, 1/1 with Vicki Clayton silk. I swapped out the DMC equivalent silk of 434 with 3857. The stitched area measures 10 inches by 14 inches. Is that not amazing? I told her, I've never met her, and I said, when we meet, you have to bring this to me. I have to see it. So tiny, so cute. So congratulations, Jan. That's a huge finish. I love it so much. And then Denise, Goose Designs, she finished Green Coat Santa and she stitched on 32 count natural brown linen. This was, I think, done in all DMC, how I charted it. I love the coat. She stitched that in Gentle Arts Bayberry, and I love how it turned out. That was the perfect color of linen to stitch it on because all the white is popping off of there. It's just beautiful. And then I'm going to insert a picture here of the project bags that she is making with my Bright Stars fabric. They're so stinking cute. So I will put a link below where you can purchase her items on Etsy. So thank you, ladies, for letting me share your beautiful work. Appreciate it so much. If you want to share something that you finished of one of my designs, you can do that and email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com. You can look up now and it's right here. All right, we have haul. Do we ever have haul? Oh, I forgot. I actually do have some finishes, but they are not stitching or needlework. I've been painting, so I painted this. I started Witch of Painting Wednesday back up about 3 weeks ago, and I'm loving it. I'm having such a good time visiting with everyone that comes and just hangs out with me, and we chit chat while I paint. It's so much fun. So I was working also on my bear calendar. I got 3 of those done. It's kind of washed out, isn't it? There we go. Look at him. He's so stinking cute. God, I've been painting a bear calendar since 1999. You'd think I would be sick of these bears, but I still love them. They're still fun to paint. Oh, and I forgot to show the quote. You're amazing not by what you have, but by what you give. And then one more. So this is going to be the 2025 calendar. Live a life as sweet as honey. He's got a little bee on his nose. It's so cute. Yeah, I got to keep plugging along on that too. I'm just going to give you a friendly reminder that Teresa Vonna asked me to do an exclusive for her website, kittenstitcher.com. So I did, and it's called Big Folk Flower. This is what it looks like when you receive it. It's stitched 1/2 on 40 count dark mocha by XU Designs or XJU Designs. I don't know how to say that. It was stitched by Jerry Inglis of Canada. And here is the original. It's so much prettier in person than look how dark that printed. It looks great on my computer. I printed out, and it's, so yeah, this is an exclusive on Kitten Stitcher's website. I love the folk art feel of this, that huge flower, those black birds, and then also you get a needle minder, which is one of these birds. I have the needle minder here. I guess I could show it to you. And here's the little needle minder. And that comes with your pattern. She also has this fabric in stock so that you can buy it from her. I think you can also buy the floss kit, I think. You'll find out when you go to her website. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so I have kind of a weird haul. I got the What Women Create magazine. And let me tell you how this came about. So my last video, or maybe it was the one before that, I was talking about, well, I was showing my punch rug that I have been working on. Like, I started it years ago and it's just been sitting there collecting dust. By the way, I did work on it, but I did maybe this big of an area, and I didn't feel like taking it off the thing to bring it down here for Flosstube, but I will work on it some more a little bit this week anyways, and I'll show it next week. So I was showing that, it might have been 2 videos ago. And what inspired me was, I don't even know, I was looking for something and on YouTube, and Deanne Fitzpatrick live stream video came up. She was live streaming right then, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. And so I turned it on, and she was going around her studio, and she would sit down and she would hook for a while. And I mean, she was just a delight. I really enjoyed watching it. Well, then later that week, or maybe the next week, I was watching Liz and Shelly, the Antique Needleworkers. Is that the name? Antique Needleworkers, yes. They have a rather new Flosstube channel, and they are amazing and so talented, and they're just a lot of fun to watch. Well, Shelly was talking about Deanne Fitzpatrick and how she has a podcast. And I'm like, really? So I love podcasts and audiobooks when I'm stitching or designing, because I keep focused on what I'm doing. I'm not looking at the TV every so often. You know, there's a lot of times, that's what I like about Flosstube, is that you can listen and listen and listen. You don't have to look up all the time, but you do look up. It does break your concentration. So I do like audiobooks and podcasts for that reason. So I listened to one of her podcasts it was an interview with Jo Packham. She is the genius behind Where Women Create, and now there's, you know, What Women Create. And anyways, she went through her journey of how she ended up, like, how did you get to where you are today, type of thing. And she went through her whole journey. I actually want to listen to it again. It was fascinating to me. That woman is more brave than I can ever be. Seriously. She is incredible, and her story was just awesome. So, and it brought back, here we go again, more nostalgia for me, because in 2010, right? I wrote it down. I didn't want to have to look down all the time though. Yes, in 2010, September of 2010, my mom and I drove out to Minneapolis, Minnesota to go to the Creative Connection, which was hosted by Jo Packham and another lady, which her name escapes me now. But it was I was a vendor there. There were quite a few vendors, but there was also, you know, they had this dinner, and that month's Where Women Create magazine, a lot of the ladies that were featured in that magazine were there, and they had tables set up, and you could go and get your magazine signed, which I did, of course. Jennifer Murphy and Pat Murphy, they are from Michigan, and they both make, one does mohair bears, the mom does, Pat, and I purchased her mohair bears. I have several of them at the house. They're gorgeous. And then her daughter, she doesn't make bears. Well, she makes bunnies and bears and all these little characters stuffed. They're little, super cute. Anyways, I definitely got their signature because I was fangirling them. So it was where I met Stacy West of Buttermilk Basin for the first time. It was great. I'm going to insert pictures as I'm talking because, oh my gosh, I look so young there. What happened? But anyways, it was really quite the experience. And it was, I think, the only show that they did like that. If I'm mistaken, then let me know. But I'm pretty sure that was the only time they did that show. But I loved it. It was fun. It was just so inspiring. So anyway, it got me yearning for this magazine again. I used to pick it up once in a while when I was at Joann Fabrics or something, but they're so expensive. And I don't know, I just bit the bullet and I got a subscription that if you get the subscription to both and you pay for the full year, you get quite a discount. So I got What Women Create and Where Women Create subscriptions, and oh my gosh, of course I look at this and go, I want to do that. This one here where she combines her art with quilting, and like, that's a quilt, that's fabric, y'all. I mean, what? I would love to do that. But anyway, you know, maybe this is not the best thing for me to be subscribed to because I'm going to want to do all that stuff. I just thought that was interesting how that kind of went full circle, you know. It was a long time ago, and then, you know, and Deanne Fitzpatrick is what brought me back around into that circle. I thought that was really cool. So I'll put a link to in the description box below to my blog where I talk about this experience that I had at that show. And I was trying to find that in my blog, and oh my gosh, there's a lot of information and fun stuff in there. If you're interested, if you just have nothing else to do and you're just having coffee and chilling, if you want to go back and see nostalgia, go to my blog from years ago. It's a blogspot site. Anyways, I got, oh gosh, at Market, I got to meet Jeanette Douglas, and I don't know why I never met her before. I am a huge fan now, like such a huge fan. She's hysterical. She's funny. She's bubbly. She's happy. She's energetic. I love her. Anyways, it was so nice to meet her after all these years. And you know, her Chubby Bunny was like probably the biggest seller at Market. But I want to get that too, but she was sold out of that. But I got Chubby Bird. So stinking cute. Yes, very cute. And she's just a delight. I ordered some fabric from a new company that I had never heard of. Well, I'll be honest, I was looking for the fabric that Liz and Shelly from the Antique Needleworker, they were talking about this fabric company. And I paused the video and I took a picture of it with my phone. And then I just thought it was, I just didn't look at the picture, and then I just went on watching the rest of their video. And then when I zoomed in on the tag, I couldn't read it. It was too blurry. So I couldn't remember the name of it, and I didn't have the time, or I just didn't go back through the whole video to find that part. But anyway, it got me searching on Etsy, because I'm pretty sure it was Etsy where they bought it from. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is it. So I bought some fabric from a new person. It's Nicholas Flamel Design Little Sampler Collection. That's what I bought. It was called the Little Sampler Collection. Come on, focus. So little did I know that he is from, where is he from? I don't know. HU, what is HU? I can't remember. I don't know that he has a card. Hold on, my paper fell. Might be on that. Oh no, that's something else. Anyways, it came from overseas. But it's really, really pretty. Oh my goodness, I love these. So I'm gonna show them all together first. Did I get two of the same color? What is this one? This one's not marked, no. Oh, I bet you that fell off there. Oh my goodness, they're not attached. Okay, hold please. I don't even know what that. I gotta pause this. Well, I have a few of them that once I realized the tags for these linens weren't attached. These three, I know what they are. So I'll show these three. I have just messaged him through Etsy and asked if he could help me figure out what the other ones are called, because you know, if I'm going to stitch on them, I need to know the name of them. It's probably not something I will stitch one of my designs on. It might be just something I do for personal use, and the reason is because he doesn't sell them individually, I don't believe. I was just looking at his Etsy shop, and they come in like sampler groups. Like it says the sampler collection, and you get, you know, two, or you know, so you can't like buy it individually. Maybe he'll do that someday. But anyway, these are gorgeous. They are his Weigart base. They are so very, very pretty. But like I said, I probably won't stitch any models on them, just for the fact that shops won't be able to really get these linens. But for personal use, these are going to be great. Love this. Now I will Now I will show you the 3 that I don't know what they are because the tags fell off. But hopefully he will get back with me. And these are so gorgeous. That gray one that you're about to see is my favorite. Let me get in so we can get some good color. There we go. Oh, the color is showing really well. Look at this. Oh my heavens to Betsy, look at that. It's so beautiful. But these are actually not showing up as pink as they are. They're kind of a pinky color. This is a very pink color. It would be really pretty for a spring design with a bunny or something. This one is more of a, like a taupe color where it's like a pinkish brown. And then this gray is, ooh, beautiful. So those are all 40 count. And again, like here's the, one of those 3, or here's the names of the 3 that I just showed. Don't even know how to say this one. Ralph de Bricassart. Ralph de Bricassart. I can't, never mind. Dove, I can read that one. An antique crocheted lace. Those are the 3 that I just showed, so hopefully he can help me figure out what is what. I did find out that he is from Hungary, and pretty sure, like 99% sure, that that is where XU Designs is from as well. So wow, kudos for Hungary, making some awesome fabrics over there. That is a new company, Nicholas Flamel Design, and I will put a link to his Etsy shop below. Comment below if you've ever heard of him or if you've ever used his fabrics. I'm curious. Then I purchased from the Farmer's Attic some slate, Zweigart 36 count slate. I have a design. It's an Adam and Eve design. It is very folk art looking. It was in the heyday of me sketching folk art designs. So we're talking like 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. And I have a sketchbook just full of like Pennsylvania Dutch style folk art. And I had this Adam and Eve design. I've never designed an Adam and Eve design. Why I haven't, I don't know. But I did. Finally, I charted it finally. And it's really similar, really close to the sketch. Like I didn't want it to be huge, so I knew I couldn't get all that detail. And when it comes out, I will show you the sketch and I will show you the stitched piece. But it's going to be stitched on black. I already have the stitcher lined up. I sent her some black fabric to stitch on, but it was not working. It was fuzzing up. It was just not working for her. So I sent for some black fabric from someone else, but it came in and it's very blue, has a blue cast to it. I don't want that. So then I ordered this, and to me, I don't take it out of the bag. To me, this also has a blue cast. So I am working with Elizabeth from Dames of the Needle, and she is dyeing some black fabric for me, knowing I don't want it to be blue. And I don't want it to be like jet black either, like some modeling of some charcoal grays and stuff. Ooh, it's gonna be good. But it's taken a little bit because she had a show that she was prepping and going to, and then when she got back from the show, she was gonna do that. So it might be a little while, yeah. So this is slate, and look at how blue it is. I'm sorry, that's just too blue. It's a beautiful blue though. Like if I'm gonna do Americana and I need a navy, this is gorgeous for that. But just not gonna work for my design. That's coming in the future. I'm so excited. I got I received 2 models back in the past couple weeks, and that makes my heart sing. Sing, sing, sing. I love that. It's like Christmas when I see something come in. What else do we have? Oh, and I will insert some Instagram pictures because I already kind of went through these. I placed an order with Kitten Stitcher. So I watched her latest video. If you didn't know she had a channel, or if you didn't watch her last one, I'm telling you right now, go. And I might like start from her day one and just kind of watch them over again, because she's so fun and hilarious, so informative, and just shows beautiful works, and she's a joy. Because her business is so crazy busy, she doesn't get to do Flosstube videos very often. So when it comes out, it's like, I gotta get on that. Anyways, she went through her Humble Hands book, her newest book, which I got. I don't even know where it's at right now. Shoot. I'm gonna pick something out of there and stitch it. I know which one I want. I wish I had that down here to show you. But anyway, she goes through that book. It's called From Our Humble Hands or something like that. Beautifully written. So she goes through the whole book. So I want you to go there and look and take a gander at that video and get that book. It's really awesome. So I wasn't going to show the whole book and all that anyways, because you need to watch it from her. But there's one in there I'm going to stitch. Okay, when? I don't know. I mean, if I get it started even. Don't make fun of me. I know you're all going, yeah, when are you going to start that? Okay, so I did not realize that both of her sons are now dyeing fabric. I knew Graham was, but now, oh, her other son, I can't think of his name right now, Grant, is dyeing fabric as well. So it's called Wabi Sabi Fabrics. If you go to her website and you go to Wabi Sabi, you will see the beautiful linens that her sons are dyeing. And maybe she's dyeing some too. I'm not even sure. So I have all of these Wabi Sabi fabrics that I will try to show here. But I will also insert my Instagram post. But this one on the end that you're seeing the most of, this right here, look at the markings on that. What? So cool. Hold on, you can't really see some of them. Love this dark, look at this dark color. It's so gloomy here today. I have my light on, and that's why everything is getting washed out. Yeah, it's really getting washed out, but yeah, I'm going to insert those Instagram pictures because they're much better. And then I got some, picture this plus doubloon. I didn't have any doubloon, and that is gorgeous. So yeah, it was a good fabric haul for me over the past couple weeks. All right, that's it for haul. I think that's plenty. Now I want to go into the giveaways. Oh wait, we have a sale. So this week's sale for punch needle is Soul Sisters. I actually have this down here, I believe. Oh, I thought it was sitting right over here, easily accessible, but it's not sitting there. I might have took it up to the house. I've been decorating up at the house and moving things around, so oh, bummer. I finished it on a box. It looks really cool, but oh well, I don't have it here. These are very dark colors, but you could do that with any color for that background. You could do like a navy or a bright blue. I mean, you could do a light color and then change their dresses to dark colors. This punch needle will be on sale this week, 20% off. And then for cross stitch, because I am just got spring fever, come to the garden. Yeah, you can get this book 20% off this week. So the sale runs from week to week, and if I miss a floss tube, like let's say next week I don't do a floss tube, then the sale will still end next Saturday. There just won't be any sale till I do another video. So that's kind of how that's working. All right, giveaway. Last week, if you said nature, you got into the giveaway for the nature, new release nature book. No, I'm gonna turn this light down a little bit. Maybe that'll help. So that was one of my new releases. And I used the YouTube random comment picker, and we have a winner. Maria said, strolls down memory lane are so wonderful. I remember loving nature walks as a child, and I carried that passion into adulthood. Your property looks like a nature paradise. I love seeing your walks and adventures in the snow with your grandbabies. I never realized how much of your older art I've owned over the years until I saw this video. I've loved you for decades. Be well and safe. Hugs. Thank you, Maria. That's so sweet. It's funny because sometimes, you know, people don't realize that they might even have some of my quilting fabric from 15, 20 years ago in their, you know, stash. What is the deal with the hair tickling my face every time I do a floss tube now? The other one was Remember Me. That was the other giveaway. You had to say remember in your comment. And we have a winner. She said, remember every day to listen to nature and our children. Amen. Congratulations, Leslie. So if you two ladies could email me at teresakogut@gmail.com. If you look up now, you can write that down. Yeah, so when you email me, in the subject line, put, you know, floss tube winner or nature winner, remember me winner, something with winner in it, and I will get these sent out to you this week. Oh shoot, I forgot to get a forgot to grab something to give away for this week. Hold please. That was fast. With Thy Hands will be a release coming in May, along with 2 other patterns. And it was for the Farm Girl Gathering, May of 2022. I was a guest designer. Thank you, Michele. I had such a blast. And I had a bunch of these bags made and sold them in my pop-up shop at her retreat. So I have a handful of these left, so I'm going to give one away so that if you win it, when the patterns come out, you'll be all set. Now this is too small to put the whole pattern and everything in, but you could put your floss in there and scissors, or you can just use it for, you know, a little makeup pouch or something in your purse. It's super cute. So in order to be in on this giveaway, you have to say, the keyword will be hands. But I want you, if you could please, for me in my entertainment, I want you to use the phrase with thy hands. Don't say with thy hands I thee wrought, because that is what is on this. Put like with thy hands I like to make bread. I don't know, but just be creative and have fun with it. Hands will be the key word. I better write it down so I don't forget. Pouch. These are. So this is the small pouch. Like I said, let me get a piece of paper so you can see the size of it. So a piece of paper is 8.5 by 11. Well, it's 8.5 inches wide. As you can see, it's the same width as this paper. And it's probably 5.5 inches tall, because it looks like you could get 2 of those here. So I'm going to say 8.5 by 5.5 is the measurement of this bag, or this pouch. It's not, you know, it's flat. That's why it's called a pouch. It's not a bag. It doesn't have like a gusset here where it can expand. So anyways, if you'd like to get in on this pouch, just make that comment. And so my plans are tonight, we're going to see Kyle's gig at the Eagles Club. He has a lot of gigs, but a lot of them are far away, and I am not about that. And normally his gigs start at 9:30. Well, I'm a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, go to bed type of girl. And at the Eagles, they start at 8 and they end at midnight. We usually leave there by 11. So it's good for us older folks. So we're going to that tonight. And then tomorrow, we're having the whole gang over because we are celebrating Kyle's birthday. Like I said, it was on Thursday, but he had plans with his girlfriend's family that day. So we are going to celebrate him tomorrow. We're having hamburgers on the grill because it's going to be in the 40s, like upper 40s, and sunny and beautiful. So I hope it stays that way because that's what we bought. Hamburgers on the grill and just all kinds of good stuff to go with it, and cake. So there you go. that's it this week. I thought I was going to have a very short video because I didn't think I had much to show, but the more I sat down and started thinking about things over the last couple weeks, I'm like, oh, this is going to be long. So I know a lot of you like that because you sit and stitch, and I like long videos too. I get sad sometimes when someone's video is over. It's like, oh, I got to find something to watch now. But that's when I go to my podcasts, or I go to, if I don't have any. I'm rambling. I'm going to let you go. I'm so sorry. I do this all the time. Just don't forget, create every day. All right? We'll see you next week. Bye.
Here we go. This is a fashion one.
You get a fashion one? Is that what they look like? Show you're on. Sir, what are you wearing? What are you wearing tonight? Will you just die if you would have said, like, Jean Privé? I can't even think of one. Jordache?